Just have fun here. I'm having fun. Alright, so is he going to continue to freeze me? Because it's starting to get kind of scary for him with this frothing in play. I'd think, anyways. So we'll play Warsong, we'll play Warbot. I really want to stop the freezes. If I if I kill off the Snow Chugger this turn, what happens? He'll trade the Shredder into the Frothing Berserker. I'll have 2 minions frozen next turn. Or I could attack the Chugger, trade. That doesn't really help that much either. So let's get rid of the Snow Chugger so we can weapon next turn. And then we'll cash in on this damage while we can. Second Blast Mage, a little bit annoying, but I don't really lose anything that I might have otherwise not been able to do anything with anyways. Secret, so that's probably Mirror Entity, right? Haha! Alright, so Death's Bite. Should I even go face here? I have 8 damage this turn. No, not face yet. Oh crap, it's duplicate. Okay. No one expects the duplicate. Wow, it's a very interesting deck. He runs Blast Mage, he runs Polymorph. And... huh. So I know he has 2 Blast Mages in hand. So I'm actually going to burn my Execute here. So I can Jeeves for full value. And I should have lethal next turn, barring he draws a mech and gets a really good Blast Mage. Okay, so unless it's Ice Block, we win, and I don't think he has a way to kill us in response. Especially since he's used so much burst. Easy peasy. It's an interesting deck. So he runs Duplicate, he runs Acidic Swamp Ooze. Oh, I can't say that that's probably an optimal build. Is this the same guy? Now, local champ says, what do I think about Micro Machine? Normally it's not great, but the way the deck works, it may be good as another target for removal and maybe to protect Warsong Hobgoblin Frothing. That is something I should consider because it works with Hobgoblin and it works with MechWarrior. I don't like the fact that it's 2 mana, but there may be a place for it. So I think we're going to open with Cogmaster here, so that if he plays something that, well, basically I can trade if I need to, or I can use the War Axe to kill something. Awkward. Maybe I should have played the Warbot, then I could play Cruel Task plus Warbot. But, alright. Slightly off curve. He missed his number 1 drop, so I don't know, again, if he's Freeze Mage or if he's Mech Mage. Yeah, I mean, maybe that last mage was playing a lot of weapon classes, and you can't fault him for putting that in. Everybody needs to make their own judgment calls against the metagame that they face. So I feel like this could have been a little bit better for me in terms of the way that I sequenced my spells. Say I opened with Warbot and then played turn 2 Cruel Task for 4-2. He would still Frostbolt the 4-2. And the next turn I would have to weapon that anyways. Alright, so it's not really that different. Mainly I don't like the point that I have to weapon here instead of developing a minion.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
Let's see. I think Frothing is supposed to go first here, because if this is Mirror Entity, I can kill it with the minions I have on board. And then next turn I can War Song plus Cruel Task. Okay, so he fireballs it because it represents so much threat. I guess I have to give him a Warsong Commander. I could give him a Taskmaster, but then that would trade. I guess it'd trade anyways, right? So the idea is if I play Warsong Commander, he gets a Warsong Commander. And then a Cruel Task to buff the Warbot ends up trading with his Warsong Commander. Whereas if I play Cruel Task first, and he gets that, I think I still need to trade. Alright, so I will give him the Warsong Commander. And then we can't leave it up because he does run things that can be buffed by Warsong Commander. So I think this is okay. I think I get 2 more damage in. Alternately, I could have played the Cruel Task first, then played the Warsong Commander or the Frothing Berserker second. I think we gotta kill the Drake here. But we'll get the Acolyte Pain and Frothing Berserker value with the Warsong while we can. And then we'll just trade in. Yeah, I could have Frothinged first. Maybe that might have been a better play. I play Cruel Task, trade. Well, play Cruel Task, drop the Frothing, trade.
I've got the beast in myself.
Ah! Got BGH'd. Well, at least it gets that out of the way for our Dr. Boom. Not the worst thing. Unless he has, like, Echo Medivh, second BGH.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
He does have the Echo Medivh. Ooh, fancy. But he might be too far behind on tempo to come back from this. So let's see. Okay, I guess we want to play the minions first so we don't get Mirror Entity punished. So we know that our Dr. Boom is going to die next turn, but I think we still need to get the damage in anyways. So we play the Shredder, and I guess we play the Annoyotron too. now, well, I guess we attack first, right? Because we don't want the random Vaporize to kill us. And I guess we do want a chance to get rid of this Mana Worm. It makes it more difficult for him to deal with our board. Okay. So, BGH, of course. What's next? Alright, so we lose our Noyo-chan, and...
I'll show them.
we have Fire War Axe, would be lethal. And in case it's Ice Block, let's find out if it's Mirror Entity. Alright, and then we attack for the win.
Speak to me.
Rank 7. Really milking that win streak. I know that the games are going to get much harder once I hit rank 5, but this definitely feels like a legend-capable deck. And even if you're not playing it on like the legend or like rank 5 or higher, it definitely has the ability to beat a lot of the popular decks in the metagame, right? So I think this is a deck that anybody could enjoy, assuming they have the cards. Okay, Hunter. Hogmaster is good. And we want to get our 2-drops. The Frothing is kind of good, but like the 2-drops are better. And when you have a deck with an as aggressive curve as this, you want to have the better cards because they reward you much more.
I can fix anything. I feel icky.
Okay, so we have a perfect cruel play, and this suggests that this is Face Hunter. So
I'll fix you.
we need to be mindful about explosive trap. No, the last guy that I played, the last mage I played was not the same mage I played earlier.
To my side.
Okay. What can we do about this? I guess we just attack with Fiery War Axe, and we have the option of playing a mech next turn, so the Cogmaster is worth more. So we'll keep the Cogmaster. I don't know if that the 3 attack versus 2 attack might matter. This is a little bit worse for me if he plays a weapon and kills this right now. Or if he plays another animal companion and
Show them all.
How sure am I that this is Face Hunter? Oh, the Leper Gnome. I think the Leper Gnome is sign enough, which means I'm going to save my weapon. I'm going to play the Jeeves and attack into the Mad Scientist. And next turn, I'll probably play Acolyte of Pain or buff it with my Screwjank. And then I have the weapon as a tempo play.
Can I help you, son?
I mean, I have been tricked before. Trying to make the read where it's like, alright, I assumed that Leper Gnome means Face Hunter, and Face Hunter means only Explosive Trap. I mean, that's fine. I actually sort of want my Jeeves to die. Because I'm not at the point where I can get value out of Jeeves, so I might as well trade him off. And then I could attack him to trigger the Explosive Trap now. So I know I want to trade. And the question is, do I want to attack him to trigger the explosive trap?
I wonder.
I think I do. So I'll attack the bluegill here, play the acolyte. I want the acolyte to get damaged so I get the extra draw, but I don't want the warbot to get damaged because I don't want it to die to unleash or something else. And we even draw it into a mech warper, which makes this even better. The add-on for tracking cards is called Hearthstone Deck Tracker. I think I have a link on my Twitch page close to the bottom. Oh no, not unleash the hounds. Yuck. Okay, so this is getting a little dicey for me. I probably play the Screwdriver, kill the Knife Juggler.
Defensive systems.
And how important is it to kill the other beasts? Because otherwise I'm going to play my Frothing Berserker. Well, he has 5 damage on the board next turn. Plus 2 cards in hand. He could double kill command me, but he wouldn't be able to hero power. He needs a way to kill the Frothing Berserker. I think I want to race him, so we'll opt for this instead of the Taskmaster play. And then we'll see what he does here. Okay, so it's explosive. Not explosive? You wouldn't trade all that if it was explosive. Huh. Alright, so can I dump my hand? I could dump my hand. I lose my whole board. And I would also start giving him Jeeves cards. But these guys are as good as dead, so I might as well get rid of them. What card am I okay losing here? Or getting damaged? I think I'm okay getting my Jeeves damaged. Otherwise, I can't cast everything. So I play the Jeeves. Trigger Explosive Trap. Play the Cruel Task on the Jeeves. That lets me dump my hand. Like, yes, it does give him more cards to kill me, but I also have a Neutron, and he doesn't have another, he doesn't have 2 Unleashes, he only has 1 left. An Unleash is probably his best way of punching through this. I think if I don't play Jeeves, I could probably still win. But he doesn't even dump his hand. Oh, there we go. Kill command me. Okay, that's a very weak kill command, and he draws 2 cards. It's fine. Alright, so let's see, what is the best play here? I think a Neutron is the safest, so I will play one of those, and I hit him for 6. Doesn't really matter about the sequencing here. So how much damage do I have? I have 6 damage on board. I hit him for 4, puts him at 12. Alright, I think this is the play. So I need 1 card to be able to get lethal here. I need to not draw and execute. And I think I should have lethal. So he does have the Unleash, but he does have a wall of cards to fight through. Damn. So I think I'm probably dead, given he doesn't really need an awful lot to kill me. I have 9, 13. Warsong Commander doesn't give the Piloted Shredder charge. So... attack. 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 Execute. Hero power. He doesn't have any more Unleash, so it doesn't really matter how many minions I play.
My apologies. Get in there and fight, maggot!
So, I mean, I was banking a lot on him not drawing the Unleash. And I probably could have gotten away with not playing Jeeves that game. But I felt confident enough, like... I felt it gave me pretty good odds. I think, if I did not play Jeeves... would I win the top deck war? Maybe I would have won the top deck... I would have won the top deck war because... I had an Annoyotron, and the Annoyotron will trade with at least 2 of his cards, barring the use of Unleash the Hounds. I think of the games where I have lost against Hunter before, Face Hunter that is, it has been because I got too ambitious with Jeeves. When I might have been able to win in a situation where I didn't play him. Alright, this is a pretty strong hand against Mech Mage. Because even if he has a turn 1 play, I can coin Taskmaster. Assuming his turn 1 play is Clockwork Gnome. And I have a mech to follow up with my Cogmaster, so I should have a good response for anything with 3 toughness. That Scientist is a bit more iffy. I guess I'm still going to play the Mech Warper. And I probably will trade, or maybe I won't trade. Maybe I'll make him trade into me.
What now?
I mean, the alternate play is to play Task, but if this is Mirror Entity, then Task is one of the better targets for Mirror Entity. I think if I knew that this was Freeze Mage, then I wouldn't have made that trade. I would hit him instead. And because I see Unstable Portal, now I'm not sure if he's which version of Mage he's running. I think it's less likely to be Mech Mage, so I think I could give him a Screwjank here, or I could give him a Jeeves. I partially don't want to give him a mech, but I don't think he has mech cards to run, which makes Screwjank very attractive. And in the end, like I said, it might just be duplicate, so... Jeeves is the weaker card to give him, but also develops my board less.
Defensive systems online.
I might come to regret this. I think Jeeves would have probably been the better play, but I wouldn't have been able to kill the Jeeves immediately. So this is giving him a 2-5 versus... Well, giving him a 2-5 and buffing my MechWarrior versus giving him a Jeeves and having a Jeeves and a 2-3. Tundra Rhino. Alright. Well, I do have the combo in hand, and when I say combo, I'm always referring to Death Spite plus War Song plus Frothing Berserker. So that's something. I think I want to get the Jeeves out of the way. In this matchup, Jeeves is less likely to be good, since he'll be top decking as much as I am. I don't think he can dump 3 cards. 2 cards. No, I don't think he can dump 3 cards, so I think this is correct. And then I actually need to find a way to get, like, kill the Jeeves here, because it's worth less to me than to him. Okay, so Death Spite attack in the Sludge Belcher, run the Jeeves in, run the Screwjank in, and that should end my turn. Let's see if he wants to try to get Jeeves value or if he's going, nope, he's just going to kill it. That is annoying. I mean, I guess I could give up the combo to clear this board. Or I could play Dr. Boom. If he has BGH or Sheep, that becomes very bad for me. But so what I can do is I can attack the Water Elemental, play Commander, use the Cruel Task to punch, or to tap the Water Elemental, finishing it off, and then kill the Tundra Rhino. Setting me up for Warsong Commander next turn. Or I could play Dr. Boom and roll the dice. I think Coin Dr. Boom is the less safe play. But let's do it. I'm not like playing to make the most optimal play. I'm playing kind of to explore the different options of this deck, explore the boundaries of this deck, and seeing if even if I make a more aggressive play like this, it might work out for me. Like, playing that Mana Worm first, just like maybe as Polymorph. Okay, so he has a spell instead, and he still has mana for Polymorph, so it's still very possible that he can deal with this. He gets a Hobgoblin. Now I bet he wishes he played it in a different order. Oh, he does have Polymorph. Alright, so it looks like I get punished for this. And of course he's gonna freeze me. Rest in peace, Hobgoblin. What's the best way to deal with this? He's basically out of cards. I guess I can run some boombots and see what gets blown up. The Water Elemental is probably going to continuously hit me. So it might be appropriate for me to drop Warsong Commander here and play the Frothing Berserker. Because I give up the combo, but it stabilizes my board. So we'll get rid of this water elemental because it's causing us so many problems. It's a shame, but I think if we don't do that, then this game is going to snowball out of control. And we still have the opportunity to draw the other Frothing Berserker in our deck for a big finisher, but you don't want to get fixated on the combo like that. Wow, he actually ignores my Warsong Commander. Alright, so we can assume, I think we can safely assume that this mad scientist will get him another mirror entity. So we play Warsong Commander. Oh, no, actually we already have one in play. We punch the mad scientist, we play the warbot, give him a warbot. No, maybe we don't even want to give him a warbot. We play the warbot first, we play the cruel task. After we kill that, give him a cruel task. Run the warbot into the mana worm with the cruel task buffing it, and then using... so confusing. Okay. So I think this is the play. We punch that. Buff the warbot. Okay, so it's duplicate. We still gotta get rid of him. Not duplicate. Counter spell. Well, counter spell isn't that bad for us because the only spell that we run in our deck is execute, and we don't have one right now. If it's ice block, it's at best going to be a stall. The question is, are we at risk of actually dying in this game?
Embrace the light.
Illuminator. Alright. So he heals up, that's fine, no big deal. We kind of want to use our weapon here. It's interesting that he passed most of his turn. I guess I'll trade. He'll ping the Shredder, we'll attack, and he's holding on a lot of cards, so he might have Flame Strike. So we have to play around Flame Strike a little bit. So we won't be playing the Warsong Commander here. Alternately, we could attack the Illuminator with our weapon, but we'll do it like this. And we'll hold on to the rest. In case we draw an Acolyte of Pain, we'll have a Death Spite ready. But yeah, he's going to hero power the Piloted Shredder, and... Okay, so, like I said, we have the Death Spite ready to deal with the... Sludge Belcher here. How much do I want to hold on to these cards? I suppose I can drop the Warsong Commander on the board, but I'm going to hold off on the Cogmaster. It's only 1 damage, and I have no mech. If I draw Hobgoblin, it becomes good. And I'll save the weapon just as a surprise factor. It could hurt me if I draw into a 4-drop that I want to play. Okay, so there's our execute. I guess we'll hold on to the execute, assuming this is counterspell.
I can fix anything. I'll fix you. For the welfare.
We might want to save it for something bigger, or maybe if we pop the if we use the execute to pop the counterspell, maybe there's another counterspell sitting in his hand. Alright, so this top deck war isn't going in our favor. He's holding cards, and it might be because he's holding on to Molten Giant. I don't know, his deck is really weird. I really hate playing against weird mage decks. The cards that really help us get back into this game would be Acolyte Jeeves. Hobgoblin doesn't help us right now. Of course, we get a Hobgoblin. We value the Hobgoblin more than we value the Warsong Commander. Someone asked, do you think there's room for Grommash in this deck? I used to run Grommash instead of Dr. Boom, but the problem with Grommash is that it was hard for me to actually get him off as a finisher a lot of the time. So I just opted for running Dr. Boom instead. I think that Grommash is an okay replacement for him. It will change the way you play some of the games. I have this sneaking suspicion that he has Molten Giants in his deck. Because of this weird mid-rangey nature of this, I don't know. And the fact that I haven't triggered his secret yet. It does make Jeeves a really good draw for us, though, if he's holding on to this many cards. Alright, so there's the Flame Strike. So, yes, he does run Flame Strikes. We are almost dead. It doesn't take... I mean, he's been sitting on so many cards that... So he's like more of like a mid-rangey control-y deck. Because he's running Flame Strike and Polymorph. There's the Fireball. What could have been done differently? I think it was when I went for that play where I decided to drop the Dr. Boom instead of dropping the safer play. And I was like saying how there was this risk of the Dr. Boom being BGH'd or polymorphed. And due to the nature of his, due to the fact that he's running Unstable Portal, it seemed very possible. Also, I used the Jeeves really early on. That would have helped me later in the game. But yeah.
I must protect the one. Victory or death!
Alright, so it's almost 7 o'clock, and that's usually the time I stop. I did start early today, so only a few more games left before I go. Right, we open with Cogmaster here. If this eats a Wrath, that's fine by me. The Noitron's going to make it difficult to deal with. I think the last time we played a Druid, we opted to go for the tempo game. In other words, we didn't try to control the game at all, we just try to rush him down. Oh, MechWarrior does have some interesting... gives us some interesting possibilities, because it lets us play Screwjank next turn. He could Innervate Coin out Druid of the Claw. That would make me very sad. Alternately, he could just Wrath it. If I play a Noitron now, then he's probably going to just Wrath the Cogmaster instead. Alright, we'll play the MechWarrior. We'll go for the higher rewarding play. He just Wild Growth. So this actually pays off for us because this lets us drop the Screwjank.
Defensive systems online.
I'll fix you. Okay.
And from here, we can basically empty our whole hand next turn. We need to consider Mind Control Techie, but we probably won't play around it.
I must safeguard the land.
Alright, so I'm dumping my hand, and I think I might even want to kill off the keeper here. I lose out on 4 damage. No, actually, maybe I shouldn't. I should just go face, right? I hit him for 8, put him at 12. Next turn, he's facing lethal.
Back to work.
So he needs to clear something. And then I have Warsong Commander plus, you know, a small costed minion is enough for lethal a few turns from now.
I can see.
There we go. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. But that's what I was saying about, like, sometimes an aggressive deck like this can just get carried by really good openers, whereas as a control deck, a really good opener doesn't necessarily carry you to victory sometimes. All it does is give you better odds of winning, whereas sometimes a really strong opener just sometimes can't be stopped, no matter what they do. Essentially what you're doing is you're taking away decision-making processes for them, which is why people hate playing against aggro decks.
Let the hunt begin. Victory or death.
Alright, so Cruel Task is a good card against Hunter. It might be less good if he's mid-range, but this is probably one of the best options that we have. This is an excellent start.
Get in there and fight, maggot.
So in this particular occasion, this doesn't actually tell us what kind of deck he is, as both mid-range and Face Hunter do run Abusive Sergeants. So here we'll coin out the Taskmaster. We want to save the Anoyotron for to stop bigger things, I think.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
Let's see, we can trade here. And I guess the Explosive Trap will kill off our Anoyotron's Divine Shield, but I think we're okay with that. Alright. I think I will actually not attack because this is a taunt and I don't want to give him the extra bow charge. So I'll just play the Acolyte of Pain and bide my time. This may provoke him to kill the Anoyotron perhaps. But I think it's very unlikely he'll attack the Eaglehorn Bow, but if I can get him to do that, that's great, because he loses a lot of potential value. So this is the card that he's hovering over right now, is the card that he kept in his opening hand against a warrior. I'm not sure what that would be. It was a Haunted Creeper. Okay.
Put this apple on your head.
And he did not want to shoot daggers. So if this is Snake Trap, I guess I should kill this first, regardless. And then if it's freezing, I would rather have the Anori Charm bounced.
Bring the pain.
And then, if I play the Mech Warper, he may just trade into the Mech Warper and then give my Acolyte of Pain no target. So I might actually not play the Mech Warper this turn. I think that's correct. Sminger Small says, was running Mech Priest today? Even that's pretty good. I think Brian Kibler was running a Mech Priest deck to some success.
Ready to ride.
Second Annoyotron. Okay. I guess I'll milk the draws. Might not be correct. Hobgoblin, that's great. Then I'll just play Hobgoblin and the Noyotron. And I think I can even afford to take the damage, as long as it solidifies my board position. It makes it more difficult for him to deal with the Noyotron.
I feel icky.
And I'm getting like really good mileage out of my Acolyte of Pain here. Will help me draw into Frothing Berserker to set up for a kill. And the Hobgoblin eats a kill command. That's also great. So we'll trade in here first. And I guess I can start being aggressive here. Even with the Explosive Trap, he needs to attack the Annoyotron twice. So this way I can start dealing damage to him. So Unleash Knife Juggler is probably his best answer to this. If he doesn't have it, I probably win the game. Okay. Although, he could just kill me next turn. How much damage does he need? He has 5 damage. So he needs 6 damage from his hand, and that's definitely possible. Like, double Wolf Rider would win in the game.
Put this apple on your head.
Interesting. Why would you attack that, of all things? Why not attack the Warsong Commander? I guess to reduce the amount of damage he takes. So I guess Dr. Boom wins us the game here. Let's just make sure we do this right. We attack into the Knife Juggler, I believe.
I'll fix you.
Ooh, that actually I think was a mistake. No, it's not a mistake because the Death Spite still clears everything. Yeah, there's no way this cannot be lethal because it clears the board. Alright, it is 6:58 and I'm going to end the stream here today, but I will hang out for a few minutes if anybody has any additional questions. But overall, it's a pretty good run today. I think I threw a lot of games that I should have won, so my 73% win rate could be higher, but also I'm fighting against a lot of like rank lower ranked players. It's not quite legend level players, all of them. So yeah, overall, I think the win rate might still be a little bit inflated. So Sminger Small asks a question. He says, what are you hoping to see for the other Black Rock Warrior card? I would like to see something that can work well with Warsong Commander or Hobgoblin. I want something that can be put into this deck. The Axe Flinger is kind of borderline in that it works with Warsong Commander, and because of the Warwind effects, it makes it very possible. It makes it so that there are a lot of synergy plays that you can make. But I want something that's a cheap card, I think, is the main thing. Because you can do more interesting things with some of the cheaper cards. So maybe something like 2 or 3 cost. It allows you to do things like combo them with Hobgoblin or Warsong Commander in the same turn. So from like a fan/player point of view, like that's what I want, because it allows me to make more plays that are harder to respond to. From a game designer point of view, that probably isn't the best idea if you give them cards that are too impactful, that are too cheap when combined with other cards. But yeah, overall that's kind of what I'm hoping to get. But I think I definitely want another minion. I think there could be some spells that are really interesting, but a lot of the cards that are interesting to me as far as working with Warrior interact better with minion-oriented decks. Like Battle Rage, for example, is a really good card in a minion-oriented Warrior deck, but because most Warrior decks are Control Warrior, and they have like pseudo card draw with shield block, they don't really see the point to run Battle Rage. And I would like to see more decks use Battle Rage like I did in Math Warrior, like to the point where they're a more successful deck, because you see different variants of a lot of other classes. Like you see multiple Warlock decks, multiple Hunter decks, multiple Mage decks, but Warrior is more or less the same thing as far as the competitive scene goes. But yeah, like Sminger Small says, I'm pretty sure they won't buff Control Warrior, so I expect something aggressive. I kind of agree. I think they, as game designers, I'm sure they want to diversify things, and I think Axe Flinger is a step towards that. Anyhows, I should be streaming again tomorrow. Like I said, my regular streaming hours are going to be from 5 to 7 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So, I guess until then, I guess that's when you guys will see me stream again. If you guys enjoyed the stream, you know, hit the follow button, and I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, see ya.